Speaking of, hold on, wait, I got to make sure that I'm doing this right. There we go. So speaking of All Elite Wrestling, Tony Khan, the president of All Elite Wrestling, may have some good news coming soon regarding a Ring of Honor weekly television program. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, Tony teased that he has some exciting news regarding a weekly program and stated that he has aspirations of having another pay-per-view by the end of 2022 with a weekly television show starting in 2023. So, how do you feel about Ring of Honor returning to weekly television, and what is their ceiling?
Uh, I mean, that's good for them. I'm not a person that grew up watching Ring of Honor, but I heard very good things about it. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty cool that it's going to be back on weekly television. Um, and I mean, seeing what they already did with people like Chris Jericho holding the belt, I'm like, all right, now you kind of got my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can't quite answer. I personally don't feel like I'm qualified to answer what is their ceiling, just because again, I didn't grow up watching it. I just reference obviously like the main matches. So I'm actually gonna let Jordan answer this question for me.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, I was able to catch Ring of Honor kind of a little bit towards the end, but I didn't grow up watching Ring of Honor. I just knew enough about it to understand when guys were leaving Ring of Honor to go to WWE or whatever the case may be. Ring of Honor was previously owned and operated by Sinclair Television. You're good. They were owned and operated by Sinclair Television, and while they had stability in the sense that they were owned by a TV network, I never really saw Ring of Honor as an accessible television program. And so, because it wasn't accessible, it never got the ratings and the money that it deserved. However, I think that the last time that they had a major sense of exposure was when you had the Elite doing their thing with New Japan and Ring of Honor. And so now that, Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor and he has a deal with Warner, he's in a position to kind of make that happen. As far as Ring of Honor being like a weekly television program, it's very, very difficult to book it on Warner Networks. And I think that they should look for a deal elsewhere because they are already, I wouldn't say have difficulty, but AEW is one of Turner's many different sports properties. Like they're already kind of adjusting to the NBA coming back. They also have deals with the NHL. They have a deal with the MLB when it comes to playoffs. So AEW already has to like stick and move around those schedules. And that's the reason why we're going to see Tuesday night dynamites or Thursday night dynamites or a special edition of Rampage or whatever the case may be. So to add Ring of Honor to that mix may not be the best idea. But considering the talent pool that Ring of Honor has, one with Chris Jericho being the Ring of Honor champion, as well as the guys that Tony Khan has in the contract with AEW / Ring of Honor, I think that the sky is the limit. I think that they can get a lot more visibility depending on where they are, and also depending on like what type of time slot that they occupy. If I definitely see them coming on like a Tuesday night, maybe even like a Thursday night. Um, I think that they should come on around like 7 or 8 p.m. Or even they could, there have been ideas thrown around about like them replacing Rampage, but it's like if people don't care about Rampage, then they're not going to care about Ring of Honor. So I don't think that it's a good idea to kind of replace one for the other because you may even slip even further in the rating. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think that the ceiling is pretty high. It just kind of depends on what type of deal they get and like where their like prime time slot is. I think that that's going to tell us a lot that we need to know about the next kind of evolution of Ring of Honor. But moving on from, because we just did a whole show on Ring of Honor and AEW. So moving on from there,